There's a player whose name barely echoes in mainstream debates, yet his control of the game was so divine, it bordered on prophecy. He didn't just play football, he manipulated time. The story of Javier Hernandez-Cruz is not one you've heard, but once you hear it, you'll question everything you thought you knew about football's greatest. Watch till the very end. Javier Hernandez-Cruz was not born into greatness, but into the relentless rhythm of a footballing heartbeat that echoed through the walls of his childhood home in Teresa, Catalonia. His father, Joaquim Hernandez, had once battled in the Spanish top flight with Sabadell, and his brother danced his way through local club pitches with raw fire and ambition. But Javier, or Javi, as the world would soon come to know him, wasn't just chasing a dream. He was being sculpted by it. From the first moment he could stand, he was moving with the ball as if it were a limb of his own body. By age 11, he wasn't just a prodigy, he was a code breaker, deciphering the language of football before his peers had even learned the alphabet. What made Javi terrifying wasn't the flair or the goals. It was his mind, the sharpness of a grandmaster in chess, stitched with the poise of a ballet dancer. And it led him to the gates of La Masia, Barcelona's cathedral of talent, the hallowed grounds where only the chosen are refined into legends. For many, La Masia is a test of will. For Javi, it was a canvas. Every training session was a stroke, every touch of the ball a line of poetry. He became inseparable from the philosophy of tiki-taka, a playing style that demanded not just skill, but obedience to an ideal, possession, precision, and patience. While others learned tactics, Javi became the tactic, a young architect drawing blueprints for the future of Barcelona. By 1998, the gates to the professional realm swung open, and the boy walked through them with quiet fury. On May 5th, he stepped onto the pitch in the Copa Catalunya. Days later, he netted his first senior goal. This wasn't a player arriving. This was an omen. But climbing the ladder in a team that boasted names like Luis Enrique and Pep Guardiola required more than talent. It demanded domination. Barcelona was collapsing under its own weight, financially strained and emotionally adrift. In the middle of this storm stood a teenager who refused to blink. Javi clawed for his place with a ferocity that didn't match his soft-spoken nature. The fans saw it, the coaches saw it, and by 1999, he had earned not just a place in the starting 11, but a reputation as the heartbeat of a team struggling to find its pulse. That same year, Barcelona lifted the La Liga trophy, with Javier Hernandez-Cruz being named the breakout star of the season. But accolades were never his destination. They were merely proof that he was headed in the right direction. When Barcelona's finances forced him into a deeper role, more defensive, more restrictive, he didn't falter. He adapted. He reinvented what it meant to play from the back. 7 goals and 20 assists followed, a statistical slap in the face to those who doubted him. He wasn't just adapting to systems. He was bending them to his will. As his legend grew, so did his responsibilities. In 2004, he was named vice captain, no longer the kid from Teresa. He was now a general. That 2004-2005 season became a war. Real Madrid was circling. The fans were restless. The press was brutal. But Javi answered with art. Barcelona won the league. He was named Spanish Player of the Year. Yet his eyes were fixed on something bigger, something global. The Champions League loomed like a mountain. Barcelona hadn't conquered Europe since 1992. Real Madrid had done it 9 times. Javi wanted that throne, but just as he was preparing to stake his claim, fate intervened. A devastating knee injury struck him down midway through the 2005-2006 season. The team won La Liga. They won the Champions League. But Javi watched it all from the sidelines, his heart a battlefield of pride and pain. He was part of history, but not of the moment. And for a man who demanded perfection, it was agony. He returned with a vengeance. His passing became myth. Analysts tried to explain it. Fans ran out of words. Teammates stopped asking how. Pass after pass, game after game, he played as if he could see time. By 2008, he had guided Spain to a historic Euro win and was named player of the tournament. But Barcelona was faltering. Doubt crept in. Whispers of a transfer surfaced. Then Pep Guardiola returned. not as a teammate, but as a prophet. In a private conversation, Pep told him the truth. Javi wasn't just important. He was everything. The midfield would orbit around him. Every line of play would start and end with his touch. Inspired, reawakened, Javi stayed. And the 2008-2009 season detonated into legend. Barcelona conquered La Liga with a 9-point cushion and a 70-goal difference. Javi racked up 23 assists, 4 of them in one game. An El Clasico slaughter at the Santiago Bernabeu. He fed Lionel Messi, Gerard Piqué, and Thierry Henry as if he had the script before the match began. It was a masterclass disguised as a massacre. The Copa del Rey was next. A 4-1 demolition of Athletic Bilbao. Javi scored. Not content, he took the Champions League final against Manchester United personally. He ran the midfield like a tyrant of elegance. When Messi and Samuel Eto'o struck, the world bowed. Javi lifted the Champions League trophy, completed a treble, and earned UEFA Man of the Match. Still, he was not satisfied. The following season, he returned with a vengeance. Barcelona finished with a record 99 points in La Liga. And then came South Africa. The 2010 World Cup. Spain's golden generation, led by Javi, made history. Over 7 games, he completed 599 passes with a 91% accuracy rate. Yet, that missing 9% haunted him. For any man, 91% is a monument. For Javi, it was a scar, so he went again. In 2011, Barcelona reclaimed the Champions League, battering Manchester United once more. Javi was now the most decorated player in Spanish history. He had redefined the role of a midfielder. But in 2013, he sought not dominance, but divinity. The Champions League quarterfinals against Paris Saint-Germain saw him complete 96 passes without a single error. Every ball found its target. Every touch was ordained. It was the perfect game, the culmination of decades of work. The moment he transcended from player to perfection. But perfection is a cruel friend. It demands more. Even as his body began to slow, his mind burned hotter. The 2013-2014 season began the slow, sorrowful curtain call. He made his 700th appearance, but the trophies began to fade. Spain crashed out of the World Cup. Barcelona stumbled. And then, with the dignity of a man who had seen every summit and conquered every peak, Javi announced that 2014-2015 would be his final dance. But Javi Hernandez Craze was not one to leave quietly. He demanded fireworks. He demanded history. He demanded a second treble. Barcelona responded with a La Liga title, a Copa del Rey victory, and then the final war. The Champions League final against Juventus. 90 minutes from immortality. When the final whistle blew and the scoreboard read 3-1, it wasn't just Barcelona that won. It was the idea of football played to its absolute zenith. Javi lifted the trophy for the final time. 2 trebles, a dream no one else had dared. Across a staggering 1064 matches, he completed passes with a career accuracy of 93.1%. Not statistics, not data, but evidence of a man who bent the very laws of football. Between 2008 and 2011, he was named the IFFHS World's Best Playmaker 4 consecutive times. The Ballon d'Or Dream Team carve his name beside Diego Maradona, Pelé, Ronaldo Nazario, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Lionel Messi. He did not imitate greatness. He defined it. If the game of football could be played by a god disguised as a mortal, that god would be named Javier Hernandez Craze, the man who physically couldn't miss a pass. Was this the most perfect footballer who never needed glory to prove his greatness? Javier Hernandez Craze didn't chase the spotlight. He became the system. Would today's game even allow a player like this to exist again? Or has modern football lost its soul? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more forgotten gods and untold greatness, subscribe right now. Legends await.